The Supreme Court delivers 3 major rulings, all of them unanimous. The Trump administration enacts a travel ban on several African, Middle Eastern, and Asian nations, and President Trump and Elon Musk have a very public falling out. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Friday, June 6th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Despite a few other headlines receiving a little bit more coverage yesterday, perhaps the most important story was out of the Supreme Court, which decided unanimously on 3 cases against the discrimination based on political affiliation or gender and a number of minority versus majority situations. The first of these, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that reverse discrimination, the idea that a person from a minority group discriminating against a person from a majority group is totally fine. The Supreme Court ruled it's actually not fine at all. In fact, it violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Marlene Ames sued Ohio's Department of Youth Services after she claimed that her boss, who is gay, did not promote her because she was straight. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously in her favor, finding that Ohio did in fact discriminate against Miss Ames. The unanimous decision was delivered by Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, stating, Title VII prohibits employers from discriminating against employees on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. In short, she was qualified for a promotion. She didn't receive one because of her orientation, and the Supreme Court ruled you can't discriminate. The second of the day's unanimous decisions came when the Supreme Court ruled that the state of Wisconsin violated the First Amendment rights of a Catholic charity group who sought an exemption to the state's unemployment tax. The state argued, including, by the way, a decision from the Wisconsin Supreme Court, that the Catholic charity providing services to those who were not a part of the Catholic Church meant that there was too much secular work going on, so therefore the Catholic charity would have to pay taxes. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously that's ridiculous. The decision was written by Justice Sotomayor. And the third out of the 3 unanimous decisions came when the Supreme Court upheld the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act in Smith & Wesson versus Mexico. The head of this unanimous decision was written by Justice Kagan. Kagan stated that because Mexico's complaint doesn't plausibly allege that Smith & Wesson aided or abetted gun dealers' unlawful sales of firearms to Mexican traffickers, Mexico had no civil or legal reason to sue Smith & Wesson in the United States whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Trump administration enacted a partial or full travel ban on several countries, including Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. And that would be both the legal government of Yemen and the Houthi portion of Yemen. Here's President Trump on the rationale for these travel bans.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. In the 21st century, we've seen one terror attack after another carried out by foreign visa overstayers from dangerous places all over the world. And thanks to Biden's open door policies, today there are millions and millions of these illegals who should not be in our country. In my first term, my powerful travel restrictions were one of our most successful policies, and they were a key part of preventing major foreign terror attacks on American soil. That is why today I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others. The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. The list is subject to revision based on whether material improvements are made, and likewise new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world. But we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
Many Democrats in the House and the Senate were unhappy with the list of nations that were subjected to the travel ban. Ilhan Omar posted, "This discriminatory policy is beyond shameful. Just like his first Muslim ban, this latest announcement flies in the face of basic morality and goes directly against our values. This racist policy will not make us safe. It will separate families and endanger lives. We cannot allow this to stand." Representative Judy Chu of California's 28th, a Democrat, of course, suggested that the particular travel ban was not only against Muslims, as Ilhan Omar suggested, but also terribly racist.
Today, we are protesting Trump's bigoted travel ban, which targets many Muslim-majority countries. This is a distraction from the other problems that Trump is having. But what it does is cause terrible hardships to people from those countries, and it doesn't make us any safer. So I have the No Ban Act, which would stop the president from being able to do such bans in the future, and we are.
And lastly, Elon Musk, the former head of the Department of Government Efficiency, had a bit of a falling out today with President Donald Trump. The feud began on June 3rd when Musk posted, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." Over the next couple of days, Musk posted a couple of different memes and old quote tweets of President Donald Trump talking about the big, beautiful bill, how he didn't want it to pass, how it blew up the national deficit. And then finally, yesterday at noon, President Trump responded at a press conference in the Oval Office.
So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up and campaigned for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars. And it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have we want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different. And I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape, he said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Musk later disputed the claims made by the president, suggesting that the bill was never shown to him once, that it was passed in the dead of night, and that President Trump would have lost the election and the Republicans would have lost the House without his help, saying, quote, "such ingratitude," end quote. Musk also proposed a poll which got over 1 million votes in just a few hours, asking, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? President Trump then fired back with 2 Truth Social posts of his own, suggesting that Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Musk suggested that Trump's statement about the electric vehicle mandate removal was an obvious lie and so sad. Then Musk dropped a particularly serious accusation. Quote, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, referencing the Jeffrey Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. 2 hours later, Trump responded on Truth Social to what had become a rather large series of events for the rest of us during the day. Quote, "I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I am just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Make America great again." A moment later, Elon Musk seemed to suggest that President Trump should be impeached and Vice President J.D. Vance should replace him. What followed were a series of reposts and retweets by Elon Musk. By the end of the evening, President Donald Trump hadn't responded anymore on social media. If you're wondering how everyone else responded, it was largely with popcorn and a look of shock to see something so blatant on social media. Before you go, check the description to make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. where hopefully things will have calmed down just a bit and we can round out the week in style. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.